getting ready for a beach, a sunscreen is a non-negotiable. And the one that I'm using here is perfect for my oily acne-prone skin. It's a pharmacy sunscreen suggested specifically by my dermat. Another non-negotiable if you are an oily skin girly has to be a mattifying primer. The one that I'm using here is from Maybelline. It is really going to keep your oil production in control, keeping your makeup intact for longer. And next, I'm going to do some color correction to cancel out the hyperpigmentation. And for that, I've mixed an orange corrector with my regular concealer from Islandgirl. Orange corrector that we are using is going to neutralize the bluish and purplish undertone of the hyperpigmentation or the dark circle. And I am focusing it mainly for my dark circle around my mouth and my forehead. And don't forget to set your corrector with a loose powder so that it does not mix with the foundation that you're going to apply on top of it. In case you don't want to use a loose powder, you can wait for a couple of minutes after your color correction so that your color corrector gets some time to set. For today's look, I'm gonna be mixing two foundations, MAC Studio Fix Fluid in the shade NC46 and Maybelline Matte Plus Poreless 330. To blend the foundation, I'm using a foundation brush from PAC Cosmetics. To contour my face, I'm using e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wand in the shade Deep and Tan. This is by far the best contour that I have tried. This one ticks all the right boxes. It is highly pigmented and blends with such least efforts that you cannot resist falling in love with this one. And my friends, I have just the perfect blush for today's look. That is e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Coral Crush. It is a vibrant coral color with orange and pink hue to it. That is going to complement brown skin so well. It is super pigmented, truly long lasting, and is going to give you just the right amount of healthy glow. For that soft sun-kissed look, I'm applying my blush today in a W shape, taking it all the way from my cheek to my nose. For concealing underneath my eyes, I'm using Maybelline Aged Wine Concealer in the shade Caramel. This is one of the best performing concealers in the market right now, but comes with a bad packaging, I guess. It is a medium to full coverage concealer that is going to last you pretty long. Also, it is neither too dewy nor too matte. It can fall in between. Next, I'm going to lock my base with some loose setting powder from K-Beauty in the shade Beacon. As an oily skin girly, I cannot afford to skip this step. I'm gonna be setting my entire face, but if you have normal to combination skin, you can just set your T-zone, and I guess that will suffice for you. I forgot to contour my nose, so I'm adding a little structure to it with some powder bronzer. Next, I'm using this powder blush from Sugar in the shade Salmon Superstar as my blush topper. It has a peachy shade to it, so it is really going to complement the liquid blush that we have used. To set my brows, I'm using this clear brow gel from e.l.f. and for that, I like to comb them with a spoolie in the opposite direction to saturate them with the product, and then I'm going to set them in place. For today's eye look, I've used the same liquid blush as the base layer, and I'm using this bright orange eyeshadow lid from Bperfect palette on top of the blush. And since I have a purple flower in my hair, I'm adding some purple shimmer on my lower lash line from Mars Jashne Shringar palette. Next, I'm gonna be drawing a half wing with some black gel liner from Maybelline. If you are a hooded eye girly like me, always make it sure that you are keeping your eye open while drawing the wing. This way, it is not going to turn out crooked. Next, I'm adding some white golden shimmer on my lids from Bperfect palette in the shade Moony. To finish with my eye look, I'm gonna curl my lashes using a lash curler. I'm giving generous coats of a waterproof mascara from Maybelline in Lash Sensational version. Waterproof mascaras are a must for such kind of looks, I guess. For my lips, I'm using L'Oreal Paris lipstick in the shade L'Assertive Nude. I'm keeping it limited to the outer perimeter of my lips. Next, I'm using soft matte lipstick from PAC in the center of my lips in the shade Wild Love. It is a muted orange lipstick that is going to add just the right pop of color. Now I'm going to top it off with some clear lip gloss from ELF. And that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you like it. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Till then, bye and take care.